I just need to start. Do the thing. Hi, it's MJ, and today's video is a little bit of an experiment. It's not a sewing video, it's also not quite a costume showcase, although it kind of is. Let me explain. See, most of the costumes that I make are fantasy outfits. Even when they are historically inspired in some way, most of them are just modern dresses with a fantasy design. The only real historical outfit that I have is my 16th century Flemish one, and everything else is just either made using modern patterns or like medieval inspired squares and triangles sort of thing. What I'm getting at is that most of my costumes do not require period undergarments. Like even the 16th century one, it has a shift, but all of the support is in the bodice of the dress itself. So no stays or corsets that give the shape or the silhouette that the outfit relies on. So with all of those outfits being dresses that do not require any sort of period undergarments, I have been wearing them with just bras. Most of the time I use my regular bra that I use on the daily. Sometimes I do use a push-up nude bra, but it's kind of too small, so I don't like using it that much. The thing with bras is that they have two problems. One, the straps tend to fall off my shoulders. I do not have very wide shoulders, and I always have to adjust patterns for that. And the same thing happens with bras. Bra straps are sitting right on the edge of my shoulder here, and they just tend to drop off. Now, the bras that I wear on the daily, they do fix that problem because they have adjustable straps and I can cross them in the back. But that leads to problem number two, which is that bra straps tend to show underneath necklines of most of my costumes. So those two issues combined mean that I do wear the bras, but I'm usually annoyed by them during the day. If I'm going to an event, I'm either hiking up my bra straps the whole time, or I am trying to push them away back under the edge of the neckline. So those are two issues that I've been dealing with wearing my costumes for ages now, and well, kind of recently I decided I should do something about that. So I made a corset that is not meant to change my shape in a dramatic way, that is mostly meant to give support to the bust without having to deal with straps up here. So this is the corset. I used the same pattern that I used for my mint green and pink flowers gown for last year's Castle Fest. I did change the pattern a little bit based on the things that I learned from that. In that pattern, I had to really adjust quite a few things. I had to take in the bust a lot and let out the hips. So what I did for this version, instead of cutting the size 12 that I did last time, this time I cut a size 10 at the top and a 14 at the bottom and graded the pattern in between. And that worked out very well. I do have better bust support in this corset than I do in the green gown. It is kind of a thick, warm fabric, so I haven't really worn this in the summer months. And as a result, I haven't really been able to try this out with a lot of costumes. So that's another reason that I want to do this video. Now, I also made another corset. See, I have a couple of outfits that I basically cannot wear any bra with because they are sleeveless or they have spaghetti straps and they are kind of backless, even though some of them have kind of a cape thing going on in the back. The thing is, bra straps would be too visible, the bra band would be too visible in my back, but that also means that this corset would stand out too much. So to deal with that, I wanted to make something that was both a little bit more breathable, summery, and nude in color. And while I was at it, I also tried out a different pattern. I do not have it on my desk right now. It's a butterick pattern that has a couple of Victorian-ish inspired corsets. So using that, I made this little see-through number. It has a zipper in the front so that I don't have any bust metal showing under outfits. And it's nude so that you don't see the corset too much in the open back while I'm wearing it. So I feel like this has been a little bit rambly, but here's what we're doing today. I am going to be trying on a selection of my outfits, some that you've seen in videos, some that you haven't, and I'm going to try them out first with a bra or with no bra in the case of the outfits where the bra just doesn't work. And then after that, I'm going to try them on with one of these corsets. And then we're we're gonna see how I feel about wearing both versions. If I'm more comfortable in the bra or braless version, or if I'm more comfortable in the corset version. I'm also gonna see what it does to my silhouette, because I do suspect that they will have some effects on my shape, even if they're not meant to cinch my waist all that much. I think with all of that explained, all that is left for me is to take off these clothes and start putting on outfits. Let's have a little fashion show, shall we? First up, my recent medieval dress. Wearing it without the chemise because while these bra straps do show under the chemise, it's a little more clear without it. There's definitely no hiding these straps, and if I were to uncross them, I'd be digging them up constantly throughout the day. In the corset version, my shoulders feel free and comfortable and no worrying about bra straps showing. Silhouette-wise, I do notice that the bottom of the corset is slightly visible under the dress, but I also like how sleek my torso looks now, though the difference isn't that dramatic. Okay, this one is cheating a little bit. I crafted this gown specifically to fit over this corset, so I am not surprised that 1, the bra straps show, and 2, my silhouette looks a lot smoother with the corset. I do now think that the bra silhouette is closer to the illustration this is based off, but I am going to stick with the corset because I really prefer how the dress feels and fits, and not having to worry about bra straps, even though they're not terribly visible. This one is kind of 50-50 to be honest. Wearing a nude bra with regular straps, since the back neckline is quite square and the crossed straps would 100% show. Visibility wise, the bra is fine, though I'd be hiking up both my bra straps and the shoulders of the dress all day long. Conversely, the shoulders feel much more secure in the corset version. The silhouette doesn't really change too much for this one, since the overdress has bony in the center front closure. This is a Franken dress, honestly, made from a prom dress I found at a thrift store, plus a chiffon skirt that matched very well in color. A bra is definitely a no-go, but the bodice gives no support. The nude corset I made helps a lot with feeling supported, though it shows more in the back than I'd hoped. The way the chiffon crosses in the front means my silhouette isn't very defined there, so the corset doesn't add much of a visible effect. This and the next outfit is very loosely based on Greek dresses, but also some of the looser gowns in Game of Thrones. The belt is very necessary to give any kind of silhouette. This would look like a tent without it. Going braless feels relatively secure in this, even if the ladies have no support. I don't feel exposed, at any rate. This is the first outfit where the corset really improves the silhouette. I feel the whole thing looks way more statuesque. The cape situation in the back means the corset is also barely visible. I will definitely wear this outfit with this corset going forward. This dress closes in the back much the same way as the previous one does, with the exception that it includes kind of a half skirt in the back, or a butt flap if you will. As a result, the sides skirt very close to my side boob and I feel both unsupported and semi-exposed. The corset helps a lot with this. Unfortunately, the corset also shows more in the sides, but most likely not too noticeable unless you see me from that particular angle. My bust silhouette is also a lot better with the corset on. I really like how high the bust is sitting. Again, we'll definitely wear this outfit with the corset going forward. So, conclusions time. Overall, I was very happy with not having to worry about bra straps. That was very nice, which I think I will also really enjoy when I wear these costumes at events in the future. The corsets themselves are not particularly more or less comfortable than a bra. The corsets restrict a little bit more of my movements, even though I did not make them to be very much shape altering. They're not tight-laced at all, but your torso is still encased in a tube of fabric and bone. So you kind of do feel that while you're wearing it. But I was pretty comfortable, I'd say. For both of them, I would have to try and see how they work out at events in different kinds of weather, depending on how active I am. But in general, I think that wearing a corset under a costume, even if it's a modern pattern, is quite comfortable, and you definitely do not have to deal with bra straps in any kind of way. I did also like, for most of the costumes, that the corset smoothed my torso silhouette a little bit, especially for the green fairy gown at the end there. I liked that it pushed my bust up quite a bit and it wasn't sitting so low over the belt. I really like that effect, so I think that is a definite yes for future wearing of that outfit together with that corset. And the same with the blue one with the gold details. For some of the costumes, I noticed that the bust was sitting a little high compared to where the costume was expecting it to be, which makes sense because if they're made with modern patterns, then they expect the bust to sit where a bra would put it. And the corset that I made definitely has the bust a little bit higher and a little bit more smooth out. Another way that I could do that, and something that I probably will do, is make a cupped corset or a bustier kind of thing that will kind of mimic the bra look a little bit more without having to have straps to keep everything supported, but the boobs will have a little bit more of a cup to sit in instead of a curved shape that really makes a flowing silhouette. I think some of my outfits would look even better with that kind of corset. Okay, my camera died, but we're back. Just as I was about to wrap up too, so yay. Yeah, like I was saying, I hope that still made it onto the tape. I probably will be making some kind of bustier or cupped corset to add to my collection, and that way I have a couple of different corsets to wear with different costumes depending on what sort of silhouette I want and what type of bust support, and that will serve me a lot better than the bras I was using up until now. So yeah, a successful experiment, I would say. It was interesting to try on different outfits. It made me realize that I definitely do not wear some of them enough. There need to be more events basically, or I need to come up with excuses to wear the costumes. But yeah, it was fun to try them out with different kind of support and see the differences that it made. If you are like me and bras bug you, if you're wearing fantasy costumes, yeah, then buying or making a corset is definitely something that I would recommend. Maybe think about what sort of silhouette you want if you do not want to make 3 corsets like I'm about to do. So I think that's about it. Fairly short video, I think. No complicated sewing in this one, but that was a nice break to do something a little bit different for once that isn't a very involved sewing project, especially coming off of the T-Witch undergown. Yeah, fun little different video in between other stuff. So with that, I am going to end this video here. I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Okay, I think that was fine. Not sure I like the way my face looks in this angle. My hair is doing weird things too over here. Meh. I'm really rather starting to suspect that my camera is not focused at all. Gonna have to watch this back to see if it's true. If it's not focused, I have to do this again.